Hi, and thank you for joining us here at Tax Talk UK, where we talk about all things tax and other important aspects of running your small business and working for yourself. So one of the questions that we're being asked a lot at the moment is, I've heard about making tax digital. Is this something that I will need to do? So before I talk about that, if I could please ask you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll easily be able to refer back to the information should you require, as well as being able to find other information that we have on a whole wide range of topics, all aimed at supporting you in your self-employment. So back to today's question then. I've heard about making tax digital, also known as MTD. Is this something that I will need to do? Is it something that I need to know about? So we've covered in detail in other videos making tax digital, what it means. So we won't go into it in great depth here, but essentially making tax digital is a government initiative, and it's a roadmap for them working towards all taxes being submitted digitally and more regularly in some instances. So for you as a sole trader, if making tax digital does apply to you at the moment, simply what this means is keeping your records digitally, and there's a lot of software out there. So if you use software to keep your accounts, then effectively you are keeping your records digitally. It's a little bit more to it than that, but if you do need to do making tax digital, that is the main step that you that will see you on the right path to doing making tax digital. So that is what you need to do. In regards to, does it apply to you? Depends what taxes you are enrolled for. So that depends on how you're trading. So if you are VAT registered, you will already, regardless of whether you're over the threshold or below the threshold, i.e. whether you have to register for VAT or whether you are voluntarily registered, you will, by this point in time, since April 22, every VAT registered entity must hold their records digitally and submit by MTD. Sign up for MTD and submit the records digitally. So VAT wasn't too much of a difference because you were already used to submitting, if you were already trading and VAT registered, already used to submitting a quarterly VAT return. So really the big change was if you weren't using software, to do it. So anyone that's registered for VAT will now be mandated to comply with the rules of making tax digital. So the big one that people are just starting to realise that it will apply to them is for sole traders and private landlords with a turnover over 10,000. So that's per each source of income. So if you're a sole trader and a private landlord, and you had £6,000 of income through your sole trader and £8,000 of income as a landlord, then you wouldn't meet the threshold. If you were over 10,000 in one but not the other, you would only be mandated in that one coming soon. And if you are over for both, then you will need to comply for both of them. Now this is due to start from April 24. So when I say it starts from April 24, it means the period starting on or after 1st of April 2024, you will need to comply with making tax digital. So for example, if you're a sole trader, your 2023-24 tax return will still be exactly as it is now, but after that date you will need to comply. Now for sole traders and landlords, it will be a bit of a bigger change than we saw for VAT, because of course the chances are at the moment that you're just used to submitting a self-assessment tax return once a year, and some sole traders will not, if they're engaging a professional, even have any interaction with their professional during the year. So once Making Tax Digital comes into force for you, you will need to be submitting a quarterly update to HMRC through your software, but try not to be too alarmed. It's not going to be as intensive as a full self-assessment tax return. It will just be a summary of how much income and how much cost that you've had for that quarter. There won't be any sort of stock adjustments or asset adjustments, depreciation, anything like that required. So it'd be quite basic information. And if you are maintaining your records through software, i.e. you're already doing it digitally, by the time you get to April 24, then you will be doing what you need, and you will be able to submit the information that's required from your software. It will do it all for you, if that's something that you're doing yourself at the moment. So it's not necessarily too alarming, but it's something that you want to get yourself prepared for, because 2024 sounds a long way away at the moment, but we've only actually got one full tax year before then. And what my suggestion is get yourself using software now, and then if you find it difficult, you haven't got the added pressure that there is no other way to do it. If you find it difficult, then you've got more time to adapt to it, and you could, if you needed to, still do your accounts however you've been doing them up to now, if this is a change for you. So please do sort of try to look at that now. Other things that you need to consider in sort of preparation for April 24, or whenever you decide to go digital, is if you have a mixed bank account. So if you use your personal bank account for business and personal transactions, you will find it much easier to manage if you have a separate bank account for your business transactions. And the same if you have a bank account that you have your business transactions and your rental income. If you are a sole trader and a private landlord, then again, if you separate those now, get those sorts of things done while there's plenty of time to think of it. And then, as I say, sole traders and private landlords from April 24, that is what you will need to be doing. If you're subscribed to corporation tax, so micro entities would be the audience, I would anticipate would be watching our videos, but any limited companies that are liable for corporation tax, currently the anticipation is that will be not before April 2026, so a little bit of time, but it is on the horizon. So something for you to have in your mind if you are a micro entity or a limited company of any type, and you are not keeping your records digitally. Obviously, if you're VAT registered as well, you will already be keeping your records digitally, and therefore you won't really need to do anything very, very different. So that's where we are on the government roadmap from Making Tax Digital. So as I say, if you're VAT registered at all, whether it's voluntary or you're mandated to because you're over the threshold, then you already need to be complying with Making Tax Digital. If you're a sole trader or a private landlord and you have income, and I should mention, when I say income, I mean the actual income in your turnover. I'm not talking about the profit. It's literally the money that you have coming in from either of those sources, and they are assessed separately. So you will then need to be complying with Making Tax Digital from April 24, but please do get ahead of the game in that. And corporation tax, you're looking at least 2026, but that hasn't been set yet, so that could be perhaps put back. We shall see. So hopefully that helps you understand if you personally in your circumstances need to be aware and thinking of making tax digital, and when you need to be doing that. So thank you very much. As always, thank you for watching, and please do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thank you. Goodbye.